They did not come across to me as a real family. And I know we're weird. I was like, y'all aren't weird. People who profess themselves as weird aren't weird. They just tend to be boring, and they want to think of that. But I was like, you guys are just Midwesterners. Get over it.
Wow, damn, you took this personal.
Why I took it personal?
I mean, not that it's a bad thing.
No.
I'm not even challenging you.
And I'm not like going like, man, you wrong. This is how it is.
Oh, people, you got Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, Kano versus Sonya, Jax versus his arms. But I want that fight between the Mitchells and the Machines, man. Who's gonna win? With
you
that?
got it.
Who's gonna win with that, man? This is a movie. You probably are saying it's a Mitchells versus Machines. I don't know what the hell that is. What kind of bullshit is that? Well, you probably had seen it. You probably heard of it back when it was called Generically Connected. That's not the name of the movie, Generically Connected. The name is Connected.
It's generically called, quote unquote, Connected.
Yes. Yeah, people. You probably saw this where a loving family having some problems. The daughter, she's old enough to go to college now. Not daddy's little girl anymore. And dad is having a few problems connecting with his daughter at this point. She's all about technology. He's all about cutting shit out of wood.
Yeah, being an outdoorsman.
Being an outdoorsman. He plays with, hey, I'm not about that phone and calling people to come over and help me. I'm going to do it myself, man. I carry a screwdriver around everywhere I go. In fact, I want y'all to do the same thing, too.
My thing is taxidermy.
So, when you know it, that as if the family wasn't having enough problems, the day they try to have a family outing, dad tries to take the daughter to college so that they can bond. And they're just about actually getting there. They're about to actually make some sort of breakthrough with each other. And when you know it, that's when the Machines decide to take over the world.
It was inevitable.
It was. Damn, this family. The Mitchells cannot catch a break. Or maybe an artificial intelligent sentient being trying to take over the earth or take over the world is exactly what is needed for the Mitchells to actually start communicating better.
To come together.
Let's go ahead and take a look at this latest animated feature from producers extraordinaire. What is it? Phil
Lord and Chris
Phil
Miller.
Lord and Chris Miller.
Phil Lord, Chris Miller.
Miller and Lord.
Enjoy this trailer and our following review of Mitchells versus the Machine.
What's a Furby?
You had to ask. I was surprised anybody even remembered the Furby, man.
Sure.
I was like, is Furby making a comeback?
No. Miller and Lord are just old enough to remember Furbies.
Because the kids are like, what the f?
Right.
Hey, I didn't know Gizmo was in this. Gremlins. I love Gremlins.
Why would someone build that?
I'm glad you caught that. Got a drunk ass dog at the end. Oh. Well, Martin, you know what? Let me start with you, man. What you think?
Well, I can tell you that something I really like about Sony Animation is that Pixar has its look and it's very polished. Mm-hmm. And you get all the other studios who have that, we're trying to be Pixar, but we're not quite. Mm-hmm. But Sony has its own look where with their animation, it's much more graphical and looks more like drawings. Like if you go to the Peanuts movie or Into the Spider-Verse, and even this is adapted from, this main artist's sketches, and it has that look about it. And I really like that. As far as the rest of the movie, man, I so wanted to love this, but just didn't.
Well, first of all, I am right there with you, man. Great character design. Excellent character design. And you know what it looks like? This looks like cool concept art before they turn it into the generic Pixar and Disney style. I've seen so many things where I've seen the concept art and I'm like, damn, I wish it looked like that.
Yeah.
Because this looks like...
they got closer than most, but yeah, it's not.
No, this right here, what they do here is that they put these lines over the characters and then there's texture on there. Mm-hmm. It looks like they went in and colored the characters with markers and and pencils, colored
and
pencils,
even ballpoint pen.
Yeah, it's they look like drawings come to life, and I love that, man. I love the look of this. You know, the marker colors, by the way, that's John Legend and
Christy Teigen.
Christy Teigen as the color. Like, because I looked at them and I said, I'm not even lying. I said, man, that's like John Legend and Christy Teigen. I did not know. My dumb ass. I didn't know. I was like, are they trying to do a riff on them? And then I found out the voices like. But yeah, there's a couple in there. It's a black dude. It's a black dude with an ambiguously confusing racially confusing wife.
Racially ambiguous wife. Yeah.
And the animation, it complements the art style because the animation is so playful, man. There's a lot of notebook art type things that pop up, like doodles pop up. There's always these little animations that pop up. It got weird. Sometimes things popped up and I'm like, what the is that?
It's kind of random with the pop-ups because they don't stick around long enough, and even when they pop up, you're like, this doesn't really relate to anything I've seen so far, so I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I say I don't love this, it's because it's 80% just quick gags and 20% let's stop to have a sentimental moment, which they do about 5 or 6 times.
Yeah. This is like if you gave a 9-year-old acid or LSD, this is probably what they'd be looking at right now. Stuff. Yeah, it's all kind of stuff popping up. And to me, I liked it because it worked on a lot of levels. For one, it reflects the main character's personality, Katie. Katie, who's voiced by, if anybody's watched Broad City, what is that chick? Yeah, Abby, man. What is
they just showed her name. I didn't catch it because I didn't recognize her before. I never watched.
Yeah, Abby Jacobson.
Okay.
If you ever watched that, I guess they kind of pitch shift her voice and made her sound younger, but she plays 17, 18-year-old Katie in this, and Katie's this filmmaker, but she's a filmmaker that's a product of the YouTube and now TikTok generation, where everything has these weird visuals on there, everything moves fast. So that art style complemented that right there. It's also adding to the absurd comedy that's here. And since this is a comment on tech and the internet, is meant to fit the message overall. So I think the random art style and the pop-ups that went in there, that was consciously done, not just to make it wacky. It was done because that's the culture that we are in right now.
Sure.
It's a very short attention span culture, which is, they're something that they're addressing in the movie. I tell you why I really did like it. I really like the Mitchells, man. Mm-hmm. The Mitchells, who are voiced by Danny McBride and what's her name from Saturday Night Live?
Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph and Abby Jacobson and the kid that's in here. I forgot his name. I'll look it up in a little bit. But what I like about them is that there's conflict in this family, but it's conflict without all the whininess, without all the melodrama, without all the overdrama. Katie has a problem with her dad, but there's never a moment where it's like, I hate you, or I wish you were my dad. They have a problem, but they actually, through the whole movie, they try to communicate. There's so many scenes in it, and it's hilarious, the points where they're trying their best. And it's just not, to the point they got to write scripts out to figure out the right thing to say. They try, man. And it's a damn shame that these cartoons here communicate better than most real people in movies. There's never a moment where they are really just going after each other and they're whining about their problems. They actually try to work together. That's one of the things that I hate in movies, where they create drama because the characters didn't talk. Mm-hmm. They talk here.
Yeah, I do hate that.
And it's cool the way Katie gets along with her little brother, man. I thought the way she got along with her little brother was really cool. Because her little brother, her little brother, you can see right here, a little weird ass. You'll see in a little bit. But the way she gets along with her brother is really cool, man. Michael Rianda plays her little brother. And yeah, look, that's weird, man. And normally, he should be getting on people's nerves. Normally, people, they would get to a point they would think that he needs help.
Hi, would you like to talk to me about dinosaurs? Would you like to talk to me about dinosaurs?
Like, if you don't get your ass off this phone, like most people hang up, but most, a lot of people be like, man, if you don't get your ass off this phone, quit bothering people. Don't you call another person right now? Put the phone down.
I'm only halfway through the phone book,
yeah,
though.
he's in the phone book calling people up talking about, I want to talk about dinosaurs. It's something wrong with him, but he didn't annoy me. I actually really liked him. And what I liked about Abby, and I think her little brother's Aaron, she really is a good big sister, man. They tease each other, but they do it lovingly. And I really like that. They came across as a real family to me. And I love that in here.
Sorry. They did not come across to me as a real family. They came across to me as a sitcom family that they shoved a plot on and put them on the road. And there was melodrama, even with the I can't stand Dad. He does this, and it was just so much going on. I was like, this feels written and not organic. And,
Yeah,
and you're right. Like the brother does kind of weird. He's weird, obsessive about dinosaurs, and I do like the relationship with him and the sister, because usually with the siblings and an older sibling and a younger sibling, they're always fighting, and they don't do that. So that in itself is refreshing. But the family is always referring like, I know we're weird. I was like, y'all aren't weird. People who profess themselves as weird aren't weird. They just tend to be boring, and they want to think of that. But I was like, you guys are just Midwesterners. Get over it.
wow, damn, you took this personal.
Well, I didn't take it personal, but I was just like, this movie is a lot of tell, and what it does a lot, like there's so much put into the gags, especially the physical gags, which is going on, but it has a bad habit of explaining the joke to you and then showing it. And I was like, look, either do the gag or tell me about it, but don't do it and then show it. You're padding this out, and this movie's already longer than it should be.
I will tell you that this movie is too long, and that's one of my complaints. This movie is almost 2 hours long. It's an hour and 40. It does not need to be that long, man.
Yeah, the plot is simple.
Yeah, I think there was, and I can see what you're saying. I'm not going to try to tell you how you feel about anything or tell you what you like, but I know there's been a couple of things that we have seen, and you just said, listen, I just don't like this absurd, frantic kind of comedy.
Yeah. There's times I don't, but there's times I do.
Yeah.
I mean, if it strikes me as funny or clever, I'm the first to go with it.
I just remember you got mad at TJ and I for laughing at Teen Titans. you couple of goddamn dudes in here laughing like hyenas and shit. I'm like, man, we in a comedy. I'm sorry. And then the only reason why I say it because I remember that review and you was like, I don't like this kind of fast, crazy kind of comedy and stuff.
Yeah. No. I know how I feel about the Teen Titans Go. And this I didn't so much equate with that. It's just that it is a family comedy where I was like, man, if they put any traits in this family that felt like they would like based on a genuine family and not just sitcom families, I would go with it. But they didn't establish them as real people to me, and it was just a lot of it wasn't. I didn't feel like so much of this was random. It was just like a bunch of writers in a room throwing stuff out, and they're like, let's incorporate all that and keep it fast moving. But then it's completely slow down to have, but I really do love you. And I guess when I said this, like those confessional moments, I'm like, y'all got about 5 of these in here. That's ridiculous. It's only one time that another character calls it out and goes like, I don't want to hear this shit.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you.
Yeah, I guess I really disagree with you, man. I mean, not that it's a bad thing.
No.
I'm not even challenging you.
And I'm not like going like, man, you wrong. This is how it is.
I'm not even taking it that way. No,
okay,
not at
good.
all. No, not at all. No, I when I say real people, you have to keep in mind though that I do realize I'm watching an animated film.
Yeah.
So when I say that I see them as a real family, I see them as a real family in the confines of an exaggerated, absurdist family comedy, animated comedy. And, usually when you see these kind of movies, especially in animation, they really do have that thing where these families are just very melodramatic. Tell Mom to get out of my room, or Dad, Mom, why are you treating me like this? I fucking hate you, fuck you. I was like, I like that. The whole time the family was playful and they were loving, and it drew me in. I enjoyed hanging out with this family. They did not get on my nerves like I thought a lot of these family comedies would do. Also, I will admit that if you're not into frantic, absurd comedy, then this is probably going to be a little overwhelming, because this is right up there with what Phil Lord and what's his name, and
Chris Miller.
Chris Miller. They didn't direct this, but they produced this, and this is right up there with some of the most frantic films, like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, which I actually love.
Oh, I love that too.
Yeah, but this is a little extra from that, and so this might be something that it could be a little too much for people. But like I said, I watched it in the context of this comment about technology, and and I guess because maybe I just got through with my internet problems and I kind of related, because I am a part of this culture. This is an absurd comedy about all things internet culture. It's a funny comment on the Wi-Fi dependent culture. This is a comment on the hyper information age. This is a comment on the tech age. This is a comment on information as collateral and information as something that's valuable that's being pretty much stolen from people. And I like all that kind of related to it. And plus, I thought that they just did it in ways that were funny. They put jokes in there that I thought were keeping the movie from being heavy-handed and always keeping this humorous. And there are a lot of things I laughed out loud at.
We here at PAL like to do the impossible. To smart appliances, to even teaching dogs how to talk.
Oh, I am dog.
God damn, I heard words hurt, but shit, somebody unplugged that poor animal, man. There were moments in there that I laughed at scenes like that, and it's always going, it's always moving. I thought it was too long, and even then it gets to be exhausting after a while, but I did really enjoy this kind of humor. Like I said, it's a shame to say that I am a part of this culture that they were actually making fun of, that they're pointing, that they're making a commentary.
We all are.
Yeah. But I mean, look, man, you saw last week or a couple of weeks ago, my internet was gone and my life went to shit. And I had to look in the mirror with shame. I was like, what have you become? Slave to
the Wi-Fi.
Slave to the Wi-Fi, slave to wires outside, man. Slave to the fiber if I can get it up here, man. That there were so many jokes about people during a robot apocalypse. They didn't care. They didn't care about food, water, as long as some of them got caught with the promise of free internet. Some of them got caught because they put up a hotspot where people could run to. People were ready to sacrifice each other to the great router. There were so many clever things about that message that I loved about this, man. It's sort of a family-friendly version of every robot takeover movie that we've seen. Like I said, I read a book called Robopocalypse a long time, and they were supposed to actually make a movie about that. And this is the animated family comedy version of that, where, hey, it takes just, and this scares the shit out of me, it takes just one evil artificial intelligence sentient being to plug into a router somewhere and take over the world. We have cars online right now.
Sure.
So this was funny.
Everything's got a chip in it.
It does. That's right. Including our vaccinations. Got my chip. The great Bill Gates. We thank you for our daily dose of information.
I saw something the other day where a guy, he was like, no, here's the real truth. He cut open a mask, those blue masks, and he pulled out a little chip from it with some tweezers and goes, see? And he reached them back in there and started pulling out memory sticks. What? It was a joke. He was like the little chip and make people go like, and he reached in and started pulling out memory sticks.
Yeah, hey man. Man, you want that clean bandwidth, we all gotta pay a price. Thank you.
I like the message. I just thought I was like, yeah, I dig this message. It's just, but you've taken it too far and made it so over the top that more would have been, less would have been more.
Out of all those messages they put in here, it still came down to a personal story about the family. And I appreciated that they kept it intimate like that through all the craziness that was going on. I really like the voice work in this, man.
Voice work's good.
No, there are people in here. There are people in here who I thought, and let me pull up something real quick before.
A lot of people from SNL in this cast list.
Are they? Not because I don't want to spoil a couple of characters for you in here, because there's some funny characters in here. But they probably were there's two characters in there. Who are the voices? You know the characters I'm talking about.
Yeah, Beck Bennett and Fred Armisen, those two robots.
Oh, that's Fred Armisen.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. There's a lot of characters I like in here. I thought Eric Andre was really good as the tech guru, the guy who created PAL and is responsible for the robot tech apocalypse that's happening. And just like, because I think there's two people who do well that give a different persona when we see them in their flesh and blood. Danny McBride is a little crazy, and Eric Andre is out his fucking mind. I just love playing these things for Martin.
I know you do. I know you do.
Martin at the age now, like, boy, if you don't sit your ass down, stop all this goddamn foolishness up in this who?
This is comedy, huh?
Boy, if you don't stop tearing up this goddamn living room and sit your ass down somewhere.
Somebody had to build that.
And they build it every show because he tears that shit up. I'm sorry, Mark. You know I like this kind of shit.
Yeah, no. You're 5.
It's been the constant struggle between Martin and myself. Martin, this is crazy shit. Get that shit out of my face. Hey! I love this shit. Martin, if you notice, all these years, I've never brought up this show to you, man. I never brought up Eric.
Been saving it.
Man, I can tell you though, I don't mean to mess with you, but you have the best expression. You just, man, you were great at deadpan. I'm playing all this crazy shit. You done? You have amazing expressions for this stuff. Sometimes I mess with you because of that. I just looking. When you finish with that bullshit and you want to talk, you let me know. But the reason why I played that is because I thought Eric Andre was very, very, he's great at this voice of this character.
He is. I've gotten used to hearing his voice on Disenchanted.
Oh, is he on that? That's right, he is. That Netflix show. Yeah, that guy his line readings or his performance. The guy's performing amazing with just his voice, and I thought it was. And that's not anything crazy. It's just that his inflection and everything is just good. He just has great timing with his reading. Yeah. I loved him. Olivia Coleman, my cousin here. She's. I like her because I love this movie called The Favorite.
Sure. And
she plays the artificial intelligence here, and she is just an iPhone version or a cell phone version of the Queen from The Favorite.
From The Favorite.
Did you just look at me? Did you? Look at me! How dare you!
I love that movie, man. That movie's crazy, and I loved her performance here. She was just a tech version of that. The criticisms that I have are with you, man.
Really?
Well, I think it's too long. And I've already said that I think that with this movie, there are so many. There it is. There's so many squiggles and doodles and fun, just little GIFs and animations that are popping up on the screen that might, again, overwhelm some people. Might be too much. And I see that. And there's going to be, and this is not a complaint at all with me. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm wondering. I would be disappointed and somewhat even happy if I saw people get pissed about a certain reveal in this film.
But that's so late in the movie.
It is. No, it is. But I'm just.
And you really, if you aren't listening, you'll miss it.
If you aren't listening, you'll miss it. But, oh, man, those people always got their ear open for that. You'll see. I'm going to be pissed off if people get pissed off at that. And at the same time, I'm going to laugh at their ass.
Sure. Being as long as it was, it gave me a lot of time to just be there looking at just like all the minor things that I didn't like about it and rack it up. It's just one of those where it's like, hey man, it's a new thing to watch with your kids. It's quality animation, but it didn't really grab me. I was kind of waiting for it to be over, and I couldn't see myself watching it a second time. It's a rental. It's a high rental.
Yeah, you couldn't tell. I really love the approach they took with the animation. I really love the approach they took with the message. I think it was what I saw was them actually using a lot of visuals to deliver that message in addition to the storytelling. And I really enjoyed that. And I like you heard me say I like this family. I like these characters a lot. Yeah, if they could trim back, man. They could definitely trim back on this. What they're saying ain't worth that goddamn much, that they got to spend that long talking about it. And there are moments where there's just a title card popping up every 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's one of those movies where characters, after being fearful for most of it, suddenly get almost superpowers out of nowhere.
Yeah, well,
they're suddenly badass warriors. So like, okay.
Well, again, it's satire.
I know. I know.
We see that in movies a lot.
We do. It's just I guess like when I see a movie like say The Incredibles or The Croods, I fall in love with that family. So when I get to that point, I'm with it. And with this, I didn't have that lock with the family.
Yeah, well, I guess I did, and I like this enough to give this a low full price. There's a lot of movies that I wouldn't watch again, but if this was on, this is one of the few times that I said, man, I would just put this on just to watch for the art style alone, because above anything else, I mean, I think that's something that everybody can walk away from if they see this, whether you like the story or not. The art style and the animation method that they use is very good. If nothing else, it stands out.
That's Sony's thing.
Yeah, they stand out very much from a lot of these animated films out there. It's pretty bad when I think I have to say that even Pixar is, with a lot of movies, not all, but with a lot, of starting to get a generic feel with their designs. So I really enjoyed this. Yeah, it's a low full price for me. Oh. Or maybe it's because I'm just addicted to the internet. Mar's like, that's why you can't relate. You all on the internet, and internet's dick. Because you a slave. That's why. You a slave. You are internet house Negroes.
Yeah, they would trap your ass real quick.
Yeah, they would. Master gives us information. Master gives us funny videos, Mar. Why you gotta hate the internet? You good.